Okay, now let's set up the basic structure for our application, for our game. So inside the main.lua file, I'm going to call four functions. The first is the love.load, and the second will be the love.draw, and love.update, and function love.key pressed, yeah. And as for our first argument, just give it a key and. So now let's quickly go through it. So love.load, this is the first function which is called when the application starts, and it is called only once. And the function the draw, everything what you see on your screen will go here in the love.draw function, and all the updates will go inside the love.update. And the love.update, as far as I know, it is called 60 times in a second, and all the key press events will go inside the love.keypressed function. So let's just run it. Okay, let's just run this main.lua. And first thing I want to set is the Windows default position. So every time when we run the application, the window will appear in the same position in our screen. So, and you can do this with love.window that set not window but window that set position function, and I'm going to choose 500 on X and 50 on the Y, and this the third argument is the display. If you wanna take a look, just go to the documentation and search for love.window. Here are all the functions, and here is the love.window that set position, and here it is, the X coordinate of the Windows position, the Y coordinate of the Windows position, the index of the display that the new window position is relative to. So this is display 1. You can also set the Windows position inside the configuration by setting the table.window.x 500 and table.window.y to 50. So there is two ways actually to set the default window position. So now every time when I run the application, the window will appear in the same position relative to the lower left of my screen. The next thing I'm going to set inside a love.keypressed event. So if the key equals the escape key, escape, then I want to quit the application. So love.event event.quit. So now if I run the application, I don't need every time to click on this X to actually close the application. I just can press the escape key and it closes the window. So now I'm going to create the game.lua file. So click on the root and right click a new file and just name it game.lua. And every functionality related to the game will go inside the game.lua file. And I'm going to create here 4 functions. So function add apple, and so the next will be the function game_draw, and the function game_update, and function game_restart, and so the add apple, it will be just add apples in random positions. Of course, the game draw will just draw the game, and the update will update the game, and when the game ends and when you press the space key, it will restart the game. So I'm going to require this game Lua inside require inside quotes game, and I'm going to call the game_draw. So game_draw will call the game draw function inside game.lua. And let's just draw a rectangle. So first of all, I'm going to create 2 variables, and it will be the snake x, and it will start at 15, and snake y, and also 15. And snake x and snake y could be local, so I'm going to set them to local. So now these 2 variables, snake x and snake y, are only visible inside the game.lua context. And here, first of all, I'm going to set its color, so love.graphics.setColor, and it takes 4 arguments, R, G, B, and alpha, so red, green, blue, and alpha, and these are ranging from 0 to 1. So the snake will have a reddish color, so on the red channel I'm setting it to 1. On the green channel I'm going to set it to 0.35. On the blue channel I'm going to set it to 0.4, and on the alpha channel 1.0. And now let's just draw the rectangle. So love.graphics.rectangle. And first you need to set the mode, so I'm going to set it to fill. Then its position, so snake x, and I'm going to multiply it by 30. Snake y, I'm also going to multiply it by 30. And the last 4 arguments, if you go to documentation and love.graphics, and here is the love.graphics.rectangle. So the x position, y position, its width and its height. So its width will be 30, its height will be also 30, and the last two arguments are here. The x-axis radius of each round corner, so you can create rounded rectangles which cannot be greater than the half of the rectangle's width. And the last argument is the y-axis radius of each round corner, which cannot be greater than the half of the rectangle's height. And there is also one more. The number of the segments used for drawing the round corners. A default amount will be chosen if no number is given. So I'm going to set only the Rx and Ry. So the segments I'm going to just leave it at the default. So Rx is 10 and Ry is also 10. And then now we should see global name, draw a new value, okay. Game draw. I imported the required game. Okay, Zero Brain sometimes just behaves a little bit strangely. After quitting Zero Brain and restarting it, now it works just as it should. So this will be our snake, and it is a rectangle with rounded corners. And it is drawn at the position 15 times 30 on X and 15 times 30 on Y, because our window's width and window's height is 900 by 900. We have a snake which is 30 by 30. I'm going to move its position with the increment of 30 pixels. So this will be the snake's starting position. And now just make our snake move with the arrow keys. So I'm going to create two new local variables. One will be the direction on X, and it will start as 0, and also local direction on Y, and also 0. And then I'm going to create 4 global variables, booleans. So up equals false, down equals also false, left equals also false, and the right equals false. So these will be globals because I want to use them inside the main.lua. And now in the update function I'm going to ask if up, then the direction x, and the direction y will be equal to x0 and y -1, so we are moving up. And I'm going to add here some space, okay. So else if down, then the direction x and the direction y will be equal to x still 0 and y will be 1. So the +1 is down, and up is the negative one. So I'm going to add left and the right, so else if left, then direction x and direction y. So now we are moving to the left, so direction x will be -1 and the direction y will be 0. And the last case is else if right, then the direction x and the direction y, so the direction x will be 1 and the direction y will be 0. So if we are moving up, we are setting direction y to -1 and x is 0. If we are moving down, then direction y is 1 and direction x is still 0. If we are moving left, direction x becomes -1, direction y becomes 0, and if we are moving right, then direction x will be 1 and direction y will be 0. And also don't forget to end this if. And the next thing, I'm going to set the snake x equals snake x and plus the direction x. And the snake y will be equal to snake y plus the direction y. Okay. Now that we have these directions, snake x and snake y starts at 15 and 15. So when we add 1 to it, it becomes 15 plus 1, so 16. And when it is drawn, 16 is multiplied by 30. So our screen width and Windows width and Windows height is 900 by 900, and when we move with the increments of 30 pixels, it is evenly divisible in 900. So that's why I chose here 900. I mean 30, and also for the size, width and height also 30. And now go back to the main.lua, and here inside the loaded key press 7, I'm going to add elif cases, so elif or else ifs. So else if key equals left, then here I'm going to set these booleans. That's why I set them to global, so that I can access them inside the main. So when we moving left, then left will be equal to true. The right will be equal to false. Also up will be equal to false. Don't forget that we need to use here semicolons, so right will be equal to false, up also false, false, and down also false, not but false. So if you want to set multiple variables, you can do this way. So left equals true, right equals false, up equals false, down equals false, and you need to separate them using semicolons. Or alternatively, you can do this. So left, right, up, up and down, down, and equal to true, false, false, and false. So this is one way to set multiple variables. and the other way is just set left, right, up, down, and equals, and this will automatically set left to true, right to false, up to false, and down to false. And I think I'm going to just delete this and leave it as here because it is a little bit better readable. So I'm going to add another else if key equals right, then now I'm just going to copy and paste. Then left becomes false, and the second is the right, it becomes true. And add another else if, so else if key equals up, then paste it here, left and right will be false, and the up will be true. And the last else if for the down movement, so key equals down, then paste it here, left false, and the down will be true. Okay, now let's call the game update inside the main update, so the Love2d. So game underscore update, game update, and let's try it out. So now I'm going to press the up key and nothing happens, left, right, up, down. Okay, there is a step I just forgot to add. Everything's okay, I just forgot to save the game.lua. So don't forget to save if you edit something in your files. So if I run it, press the up key, it will move very fast upwards, and press the down key, it moves down, up, down, or left, right, left, right. So in the next video I'm going to add an interval for the movement. So yes, until then, thanks for watching and have a nice day.